All right, guys, imagine you're an artist who call out another artist who was copying and tracing your work months ago, but they actually are back with making multiple fake accounts. Welcome everybody to another art topic. Today we're gonna be talking about, you guessed it, I don't know if it's my algorithm right now, which I gotta fix or something, but it's another VTuber drama. So we're gonna begin with this tweet right here. It's pretty much like the beginning, how I found out about all of this right here, and it's goddamn lore to this. The artist who copied and traced my stuff I called out just got back with a new account and is blatantly copying my current new model I've been making for a client. Dude, there's no end to their shame. What do I even do in these scenarios? And before I break down everything else they're breaking down, let's give a bit of a context. But before we go to the context, here it is right here, guys, the artist in question. Right here, Yuki Arts. As you can see, they're pretty much brand new. They joined last year of 2023. Their VTuber artist is one of the last art pieces they did. But they actually responded to the artist who pretty much called them out. Says right here, when you sell a base model and an OC sketch all for someone else, all to get harassed by someone else's community, Lamau, I miss drawing, doing art, but have zero time for it due to taking care of family member 24/7 who sadly had a stroke. Stop DMing me. Guys, stop being weird. Like, it's between two artists, not between you. Stop DMing them. Like, stop. Just stop. Just stop. But here is the new Twitter right here. And it says Yuminova. They're doing trick-or-treating Halloween chibis thing for $5 only. So hey, it's not that expensive. So hey, why not? So yeah, this is them doing it. Looks like they started doing like kind of like emo style. They started doing kind of like chibi. They're still doing VTuber stuff. Like they're doing big dies. The goddamn thick dies. Right here, guys. And so they don't have a lot of stuff in their channel because this is a brand new channel, guys. This was created on September 2024. It's pretty much created like last month. So is this Yuki Arts? As of right now, I search all around like the people calling this person out. I don't see any connection with the person other than maybe like say the style of the characters. So this could be Yuki Arts, but I gotta say alleged because there's some concrete evidence that they're actually the same person. But if you look at the profile, it kind of they have like, you know, the same pose kind of going on. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, so again, let me know what you guys think. Okay, so here's the artist who's pretty much doing the call out called Raikou. They're a live 2D modeler, their Twitch and YouTube partner. Congratulations. So this is what they do mostly right here. As you can see, they clearly have their own art style, like anime-like kind of thing. They specifically, obviously, do VTuber stuff. This looks like this is like their main character from the VTuber. So you can see the mask, the gray, the black. You can see that character often. So that's clearly like their main character with the showcase. But yeah, you can clearly see they are more, obviously, have more experience as an artist compared to the other artists. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase their artwork, just like showcase who they are. Now that we broke down the artists, kind of like showcase who they are, and I guess I added the response already of the other artists, but it was already there, so I might as well just tell you guys that. But let's break down the context. Number one. So right here it is, right? So they were called out on July 14th of this year. Pretty much in this prayer phase, I will put the image right here so you guys could pause. All right, we're back. All right, so pretty much what it's pretty much saying is they're getting DMs about this artist, copying their style or character outline, not the character itself, but like the references of their body type, pose or something like that. And they're kind of like copying what they're doing, that kind of thing. And here is an example of what they mean. So in the first paragraph, pretty much they're trying to resolve everything through DMs, but they fell to a point where they have no choice but to call out the artist in question. Like, hey, I gotta put them out there. I gotta put them on blast. It is what it is. That's what we gotta call it, and to see if people will agree with them or disagree with them. So the context is pretty much is Yuki Arts was in question of pretty much a copying their artwork, or at least the outline and tracing and stuff like that. And so Yuki Arts came out with their own image, timeless image from beginning to end. They're like, hey, I created genuinely. I created from beginning from scratch. Please stop calling me out. It is what it is, pretty much. So on this part right here, I spoke to them back in March, but denied ever since, covering it up of an inspiration, even though I blocked them. both on Twitter and on Twitch. Someone they managed to draw a piece dangerously close to whatever I made. So pretty much like the artist was like, I'm very inspired by your artwork. Nope, bro, you cannot do that. I gotta block you. It's kind of weird, but hey, man, it is what it is. You know, like artists have, you have the right to block anyone you want. It is what it is, right? But inspiration, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think if the person traces the outline or copies a post that you created, that okay, you cannot really own a post, in my opinion, and they create their own character and they do their own thing? Is that good enough where like, hey, you cannot call them out for that because they're not stealing your art characters, they're just stealing the idea of the pose and maybe some design choices, but they're making their own way? Let me know out there, because I'm gonna say, guys, inspiration sometimes it's too close, but sometimes it's too far, but sometimes it's just right. Let me know, and I'm gonna give you guys an example right now. So here are the example number one right here. As you can see right here, they kind of did an overlap. So this was the sketch part is Raiku's art, which is like them doing it live, I believe. And here is the Yuki arts, pretty much going over the outline and kind of creating their own thing. But as you can see, that right here is heavily inspired. It's even though it is a different outfit, like this right here, even the hair is different, but barely. So this right here, they added cat ears, everything like that. They added some stuff, they changed the arm and all that. But was this enough change for them to be like, hey, I did my own thing, right? They changed the hair a little bit. You can see the hair is different from this section right here. They spread it out more. I'm trying to pause it, but just keep moving. So the see right here is more open, more pointy, and the other artwork is more kind of like curved. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, guys, another thing too is, so at first when I started glancing when I was kind of moving around, what I didn't notice right away, like an idiot, the top part is clearly traced because almost exactly the same as the other one. So if you look at the top part, the top hair is pretty much traced, and obviously more than that too, right? Like the face as well is traced, and to the neck is kind of like, I guess what they're kind of going for of the shape. But other than that, everything else is pretty much changed. Like some of the hair in the bottom right here, the hand is more upward, more instead of downward. But it doesn't mean they kind of like trace the hand, kind of like curve it a little bit. And this one right here, obviously it wasn't done, so they didn't add the hand yet. So that's one of the things that I wanted to like kind of showcase too. So is that enough change or is that not enough change? Let me know in the comments below. But that's just one in question. The second example is right here. So this right here is Raikou working on a pretty much a pose for potential design of a character they're creating. So the artist in question decided to do this. This is the art they decided to do. So this artwork right here is pretty much the same pose idea, and they got inspiration from the artist and used them for their own character. In my opinion, this is okay. Why? It's because it's a pose. Nobody can own poses. I will die on that hill. Please let me know if that's wrong to have that belief. Let me know in the comments below. But the reason why this is not a big deal, because this is just a sketch of a pose, sketch of an idea. If this was not okay, that means a lot of artworks out there would not be okay right now. A lot of characters taking inspiration from poses would not be okay to do. For example, the Kira artwork, right, where like the character is walking towards the motorcycle or car or whatever. There's so many characters or so many artists that took inspiration from that and put it to their own characters, right? Like, or like Batman and Teenage Mutant Turtles, or stuff like that. So it's the same pose. So is that okay? Or is that not okay? That's what I mean by that. Like for me personally, guys, this is okay. It's not a big deal, but I can see why they're probably annoyed with the other part, because it is clearly traced, even though there are some changes, but let's be honest, it was clearly traced. So again, here is another example of them. So this was their Raiku's artwork right here. This is the pose they went with. Cool character, cool design, cool cool colors, etc. And so they also decided to go with a yellow background with some pink stuff around, just kind of give a good old pizzazz, right? But they felt like the other artist, who was right here, Yuki Arts, copied them because they used the same thing with pink, the same thing with outline with the name out there with like, with the white outline. And they also added their own thing. They added their own little character, the little stars, and a little switch right here. It looks like an F. And right here, I could understand why they're annoyed by that. But other than the name, which is like, you know, with the outline, white outline, other than the name, you can't really call them out because it's clearly it's inspiration. They use a blue outline instead of a white outline. Instead of a circle, they use blue. And it is pink, but different shade of pink. Again, I understand it's very closely inspirational. So that's why I want to bring this up to light. Is this okay to do? Or is it too much close into inspiration slash tracing that it's like this is not okay? Because the first one, obviously, you could make the argument for sure. Because especially like the outline, they look identical pretty much, right? So that right there, 100% understand if they call them out for that. But for the other part, I can't fully call him out for that. I'm just trying to keep it fair. So me reading the comments like of like the recent posts, everyone's saying Raikou to sue Umi Arts. But the problem is that costs a lot of money. You don't know exactly who the person is, and it's not really gonna go anywhere, especially if you don't have the funds for it. So can it sue them realistically? Yes. But is it gonna be possible? I really don't see that happening, if I'm being honest. So pretty much that's where I'm trying to break everything down between these two artists right here, guys. So Raikou, I can see his frustration of somebody heavily inspired their art style, I guess you could say, to like their style, to their characters and stuff like that. I will defend the artists of like one part is like at least they're creating their own characters and they're changing the pose as much as they can, but they like the pose. So again, I'm a believer that nobody can own a pose. It's like it's very hard to copy that because again, a body can move, change, move, whatever as much as possible. Especially it's like kind of like going for realistic, I guess you kind of say. But with all the breaking down, with all the context, and with all everybody's saying, what do you guys think is who is the right, who is the wrong? Is Raikou right to being angry, but is Raikou wrong of calling the artist out just because they're heavily inspired? Now, I will not defend the tracing part. I do understand that part could be very frustrating, and that's like not cool to do to a certain extent because there are times where tracing is okay. And what I mean by that is like, for example, I draw on like on, for example, I draw mostly traditional art. So what I do after I'm done with the traditional art piece, I take a picture and I go over it on digital. That's tracing. That's I'm tracing my own artwork. You know what I mean? Because I think the artist in question is a very new artist, guys. I think they're just learning and are inspired by this specific artist. They just love their style. They learn from their person. So I think for to a certain extent, it's not obviously it's not okay to trace the person's artwork, but I think it's okay for them to be inspired by another person's artwork. A lot of artists, a lot of up and coming artists, they copy its style. They end up liking a lot, and they actually did commissions and sell artwork, to sell fan art and stuff like that. Obviously, they try to change as much as they can. But in the beginning, when somebody's learning doing art, not many artists really think about that. In this case, they were called out. They know what they're doing, so they should have slowed down or stopped all the way and get inspiration somewhere else, or figure out how to change the style that they like and figure out how to make it their own. Which in some cases they are doing, but in some cases they are still tracing the person's artwork. Because I was looking at the first tweet, the first call out, guys, and I actually like one person's really response, and I think it's a great kind of like an advice for new artists or coming into the scene. So here's an example right here. So right here says vtuber says something I always tell my viewers on YouTube is you can get inspiration from somebody, but please don't try to copy slash trace what others do because you can never draw exactly the same as somebody else. That is very true. Not one-on-one. There's no artist could do one-on-one of something. There will always be something different. Even if you're doing realism, something will always be different. You can never copy from the beginning to end. I know my lighting sucks, but that's what I'm trying to get at, guys. I think this artist is just new. I think they're going about it pretty wrong. Pretty like I guess in the artist case is pretty annoying, and especially tracing obviously is not okay, and you should not be selling tracing artwork too as well. But like I try to keep it fair. I think the artist is okay within like them changing certain aspects of it, colors, shapes, even the pose to a certain extent. And they're not just using the same character to another character, because I think inspiration is fine, but is this artist close to the sun? That is very, very debatable, and I'm very, very curious what people are gonna say about this this video. Pretty much, it's like, did they change enough? Did they do enough? Was this good enough? Was it like the worst thing they could do as an artist Is this irredeemable? You know what I mean? Or should be like blacklisted? You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it, really. I try to give everything from the context to the examples to my opinion about it. I try to keep it fair as much as possible. Maybe I was too much fair to the artist in question because they look like they're a new artist. I'm just trying to keep it fair to them as much as possible. Maybe that's not okay to do. Maybe that I'm like putting out a bad message. I don't know. But hey, let me know in the comments below. Shoot me up. I don't care because hey, that's how we learn in life. And if you guys have different opinions, I would love to hear them. So peace out, my stuff. Hit the like, subscribe, guys. We road to 2K subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We are working on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero content, not just in art combat, a brand new series with the Dragon Ball episodes, guys. I think it's gonna love it. All right, peace out, my stuff. See you guys next one.